So this is another Stuff I Own, and today we have Baron Samedi from Live and Let Die from 1971, James Bond film. This was played by Geoffrey Holder, who was born in 1930, passed away in 2014. He was born in Trinidad and Tobago, and he was a multi-talented actor. He was also a singer, dancer, composer, and director. And for people my age, was famously the spokesman for 7-Up in the 70s and 80s, and would say, "Crisp and clean, and no caffeine, never had it, never will." He had that deep baritone voice. It was a very interesting character in the movie, because although he clearly was working with the villain, Kananga, Mr. Big, he seemed to also be doing his own thing. And now, I didn't love this, but he was the one character, other than Solitaire, in all the movies, who appeared to possibly legitimately have magical powers. And I didn't love that. Or he just was a really good magician. That's also possible. Although I would say that Solitaire's powers seemed almost indisputable to be magic because of her ability to track James Bond using her tarot cards. This is a very problematic figure, and I had really debated whether to get it. One of the selling points was that I was sure that this body was not a repurposed body, but I was original. I don't know 100%, but I would assume that since almost all of his body is exposed, that they didn't just repurpose a body. So the hat is removable, which I had mentioned earlier is pretty rare, but it is helped by the fact that he's bald. So hair definitely causes a problem because plastic hair won't accommodate a hat because it's not like actual hair. Now, the first problem I had was that his left arm became detached at the elbow, and these clothes generally are not meant to be removed, so it was difficult. But this one actually, of all the figures I have with removable clothes, this was the easiest to remove. I was able to kind of just pull his arms back and then slip the jacket off. Even on something like this, though, it wasn't particularly easy. He's got the necklace here. That's pretty cool. I like that. The facial sculpt is really good. That's a great one. And also, it came with at least one other facial sculpt, and maybe two, I can't remember, but he had different in different parts of the movie, his face was painted differently, and sometimes it wasn't painted at all. So the eyes on it are eerily realistic. That is great. Look at the detailing on the face and how realistic it looks. So what is the problem other than the elbow? The joints just are not great. They're really not great. When you spend that much money, it's like, I mean, optimally a joint should be a little bit stiff. You don't want a floppy joint, but not so stiff that it's really hard to move. And it just, the body doesn't feel great, even though, like, a Barbie doll, for instance, would just have articulation in the hips and some like rotation in the shoulders, whereas this has elbow and wrist and knee and ankle and all that. But I don't know. I feel like it shouldn't be that difficult to have some nice joints, and I have many figures with beautifully smooth joints. This is not one of them. The other thing is that, so the outfit is really simple. There's not much to it. They didn't put a lot into it. It has some wiring up here, but like this here, it feels really cheap. It feels almost like paper. The rope feels cheap, and that's disappointing because it shouldn't feel that cheap. The fingers are very rubbery. This was, I think I got this on discount. Not a lot of discount, but a slight discount. Big Chief Studio, I think, was struggling at the time, and maybe this figure wasn't selling as well as they would hope for. The neck is kind of weird too. It's like bent. I don't necessarily regret getting this figure, but I would say it's probably the weakest of all the Big Chief Studio James Bond figures I have. An interesting character. I'm glad he was in there, but I did have some issues with the character. Again, I'm not really into introducing magic into a James Bond movie, but Jeffrey Holder is such a magnetic actor that he really made this character special. So that is Baron Samedi by Big Chief Studios from James Bond Live and Let Die.